Hello and welcome to Spirit Forest. I am in the process of building a cabin here in Colorado, and I got some updates for you guys, and that's what this video is going to be about. It's just some updates to the cabin. Now I have a whole series of videos regarding building this cabin, and I'll link to the playlist at the end of this video, so check that out if you're curious about the layout, if you're curious about picking an architect, a builder, all that. I've been trying to record as much as I can on this journey so I can remember it too. It is getting really chilly here right now, so I was like, I gotta start moving. But look at that. Look at that. So it's all backfilled. So it looks only a slightly different probably than the last video, but to me, by being here, it looks a lot different. So you might not see in the video as much, but I used to have this huge mound of dirt, and the dirt's not there, so I can't take a picture for you, but I used to have this huge mound of dirt, and what they did is they redid my driveway again because they had a ton of trucks and machine equipment here, and it really tore up this driveway. So now they've kind of leveled it off, and you can kind of see like the house and the area and kind of what it's going to look like. So I want to show you some more close-ups of it, but I'm out here because I want you to see how big this is. My cabin is only like 1,100 square feet, 1,100 or 1,300, depends on if you count the attic area, but it's not a huge cabin. But man, look at all this space. You have to, there's a lot of codes here. There's a ton of codes here in Colorado, and I have to go with all the codes. I got to get permits, all of that here. I have to have, I think it's 20 to 30 feet around my property without trees. I also have a leach field that can't have any trees on it, and then obviously a septic tank that I won't be putting any trees on it. So it's just really wide open. Oh, and you can't drive on the leach field, and you can't drive on the septic. So I will have a nice open area, and if you've seen my past videos, well, check those out. But we're gonna go back over there because that has been leveled off too. I'm like, can you see the house pretty good? Let's get a little bit closer. You know, I look in the viewfinder there. It's really bright out here, but isn't this the bluest sky you have like ever seen? Look how dominant blue that is. That is just crazy. It's so nice. We've had so many fires here. Let me check that viewfinder again, because I do want to talk about my porch and stuff. Okay, let's see if I'm going to turn it just a little bit more here. Sorry for that delay. It was actually really hard to even see the screen, so I had no idea where it was pointing at. So everything has been backfilled. Now, if you remember from my past videos, I really don't want a lot of steps into my cabin. I want very minimum amount of steps because I want to build my cabin to be accessible in case my mom's in a wheelchair, I'm in a wheelchair, whoever's in a wheelchair, they can get into my cabin. If I want to rent out my cabin to those that are in a wheelchair, that's something that I'm interested in doing. There's not a lot of cabins here in Colorado that don't have a huge amount of stairs you got to climb, so I didn't want a lot of stairs. So they have, and I don't know if you can tell, they have backfilled this more than they thought they were going to be able to, and so I shouldn't have a ton of steps. Now, right on top of this, watch my balance here, okay. Right on top of this is my front door. This is my front door. So I have, what do you call that? Subfloor? Subfloor. So I'm probably about this high up to get to the top. And so then, you know, I step down a couple steps. Now I plan on having a ramp, not at first. Nobody's in a wheelchair right now. You know what I mean? Let's hope nobody ever is, and I never have to build a ramp. But the ramp will be over here and will be coming up. Now my porch is going to be coming out. Again, if you've seen those videos, I have a nice sitting area porch here. Got some steps coming down, and then legally, or whatever, permit-wise, I have to actually have a landing as well. So it will end up coming out to about here. Yeah, and it stops too. So I don't have a porch that goes all the way this way. My porch stops here and it comes, and I'm kind of, let's say I'm walking on my porch. Let me get to my porch here. It comes here and then we turn on the porch. There we go. And then right here is my gear room where I'm supposed to have all of my gear. Over here, I don't know, it's probably a utility closet. We'll see how much gear I can get in there, but yeah, so this is like, it's really leveled out now. I feel like I can park, and I'm not kidding you. And again, I can't see the viewfinder, but 6 to 7 cars can park here, right here. 6 to 7 cars. Now the builder did tell me, he said that he needs an area where they need to put my lumber pack and put all the material. So they actually build the porch last. The porch is one of the last things they build. I'm really hoping it's not too windy and you can hear me okay, because it's really windy. We're supposed to get 20 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts, but I am kind of in this valley, so usually I'm pretty protected. So if it's windy here, it's really windy out there. And I cut down a lot of trees, so yeah, we have that too. Okay, let me show you where the big change is compared to my last video. Look at this area. This is all nicely groomed and backfilled. This was a huge hole. These were not buried yet. This is my clean outs. You can watch my previous videos to see how it gets into the house. It's kind of nice to see things, you know, buried in the ground now. It looks like my excavator, he put these rocks here because remember, and I might end up asking them if they can put just a couple boulders here. I just want to make sure if anybody comes to visit, I do plan on possibly renting it out to like family and friends. And I want to make sure nobody drives over here because this is my septic right here. And there's my leach field. You cannot put a car on top of that. So I might end up asking him if he can put just a few boulders here to get people, so if they were driving in, they won't continue to drive. I'm not sure if that's enough of a stop. So my thought, did I mention this last video? I honestly don't remember, and today I'm just really excited because of all this change on the land. Okay, so I'm planning on getting like a, I don't know, like a tough shed or something like that. Because I got a feeling, again, this is my storage area, and then I had my crawl space, and I was gonna store gear down there. Turns out my crawl space is gonna be a 3-foot door. That's not big enough for me. So I'm thinking I'm gonna get like a little tough shed type thing to store some gear in. Now I do have a kayak I need to store, possibly 2 kayaks that I need to store, a couple paddle boards. You guys, I keep telling you, I have a lot of gear. Like I'm going through my house in the city and the majority of my boxes is either kitchen stuff or gear. Not kidding you. I'm either cooking or I'm outdoors having fun, you know? So anyways, little tough shed kind of right here. One of the things I'm thinking about is I wanted the tough shed to be a little bit bigger so I could fit a kayak in it. But now I got these things. What? You think I could just put a hole in the tough shed and just, you know, this can just, I don't know. I've never bought one of those before. Maybe I can put a hole in it and these things can just like come through it. And that way I can get my kayak in here. I know I can store my kayak outside. I'd just rather not. I like to keep its life long. It wasn't a cheap kayak. So, but anyway, ideally I would like a storage shed that's the length of my kayak, which is, I don't know, maybe 10 feet, something like that. But that's a thought. Let me know about that. Let me know about that. If you guys dealt with a tough shed before, I don't think I need a permit for that. So I don't need a permit. Okay, so I'm going to show you kind of my backyard. I am pretty sure I mentioned this on the last video, but this is my backyard. Not too big, right? Not too big. I have asked them to expand this a little bit and possibly put some more rocks here or something like that. I'm going to give them, I have furniture that's going to fit here. I don't even know if I'm bringing my patio furniture with me or not. I might buy new patio furniture because it's a different kind of weather up here. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyways, so this is my backyard. I don't really need it that big, you guys, because I have all of this to play in. And I literally, you know me, I play in my wilderness here. I have all of this. So it doesn't really matter to me that this is all open. I don't really care. In fact, I'd rather kind of have the trees a little bit closer. Again, I got to have 30 feet. Here is my, getting perspective here. Okay, here's my sliding glass door. Maybe here. My sliding glass door. So, I don't know, I think it'd be kind of cool to, what I'm looking to put here is maybe a little place to sit, possibly a little table to eat at. A barbecue. I'm gonna have a barbecue here. I love to barbecue. You guys haven't seen me barbecue. I love to barbecue. So I want somewhere I'm gonna have a barbecue. Some of the things I'm thinking about is, do I want this to be dirt? Well, it won't be dirt. I'll put something else here. I don't know. Or do I just want to put out a little tiny deck, you know, that just kind of, I don't know, I guess it would kind of float a little bit, but just a little floating deck that comes out here, you know. I think that would, a deck might be easier to clean. However, I really love these rocks and how these rocks look on this wall. This is a nice sitting rock. In fact, I've had people here and they've come here and they've sat on this rock. So I don't want the deck up too much. I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want. I'm looking for ideas. Got any ideas? You know, I debate on a hot tub. I do. I think that when the electrician is here, that I think that I'll have an area or an outlet for a hot tub. I don't know. If you have a hot tub out here, I think, I'm not 100% sure, I just read this somewhere on a website that's local, that if you have a hot tub, you can't take the water from your well. You got to bring the water here. So you can't fill the hot tub using your well, which will be my next video, is my well. Okay, so here would be a hot tub. Now, I had a friend who had a hot tub. It was literally a 2-person hot tub. It was small, it was just a little tiny one, and that's what I'd be looking for. I'm not looking for a big 8-seater, 2-people hot tub, because there's not going to be that many people coming here. I just really do. We can take turns, you know what I mean? Take turns in the hot tub. But anyway, so that's kind of what my thoughts are. And hot tub wouldn't be until way later probably. I am over budget on this, and there's no way I can afford a hot tub at this point, or afford to keep it heated. So there's a cost in that as well. Yeah, so I'm excited. My electric is buried. Let me show you an update on that, because I haven't shown you guys yet. Okay, here's part of my electric. It's I don't know what this is. I honestly don't. I mean to call the builder, but I have no coverage here to call them. But these tubes are sticking out of the ground wherever the electricity is. The electric has not been hooked up yet, which is good, because once it's hooked up, I get charged a monthly fee. But you guys remember past videos, they dug this trench, and now it has been covered. It's been covered, you know. So, but they have these little white tubes that are hollow. Like, I can look down it, but I don't see anything. I don't know what those are for. If you know what that's for, let me know. I'll probably end up asking my builder and find out before, but let me show you that it's throughout the electric trench. So I'm going to show you uphill what it looks like as well. Here's my new hiking trail. This is pretty wide. I got a lot of dead trees on either side, or shall I say firewood. Got enough firewood here, which I want to talk about that too. If you notice, I have a lot of dirt. And with my permits and all that, I actually have to reseed. And so I'll be looking for seeds. And I've talked about it before. about what kind of seeds that I want. I'm gonna have to buy like a 100-pound bag of seeds or something. I want some wildflowers, but I know in this area it really doesn't grow. You might be able to grow grass, maybe. The excavator told me that he has a 50% chance that the seeds will take. So I'm like, great. So I want to do it when the time it's gonna rain, like in the spring. I'm gonna be seeding this like crazy. With the rules, I'm not allowed to water outdoors, and I'll probably talk about that when I start talking about my well. But yeah, so there's a pipe here. I don't know if you see it in the camera. There's a little pipe here. There's another one kind of up the hill, so where it goes to turn. And there you go. That's my electric is ready to be hooked up. See, isn't this a nice seating area? I like it. I got a feeling if I put a deck here, the deck's gonna come right up to this boulder. Maybe these would be the seating area or something, I don't know. So, just want to give you kind of some other things that are going on. As you see, and I'll shoot some video for you, is that I have a ton of down trees, and it is my job to get rid of those down trees. I have to, for fire litigation, I have to remove them. So that's part of what I'm doing. Now, if you've been watching my channel, you know that I've been ill at the end of the year of 2020, and I haven't really been able to do much. And currently right now it is October. So gives you kind of an understanding that I am during the time where I am sick right now. And I can't do a lot of exercise. So I've hired a high schooler to come out here, as a kid high schooler, and he was gonna move a bunch of these logs down so then I can hire somebody else to chip them. And I chipped a lot of wood on my property before. He came out here for 3 hours. He was worn out, he left, he has not been back. It is a ton of work, you guys, to move this wood. It's a ton of work. I've had people, my subscribers have said, hey, let me come out there and help you. I don't think you guys realize how much work it is just to move a log from one side of my property to another side. Like, I wouldn't want to do that to anybody, you know. So anyways, he ended up not coming back, and he had some issues and stuff. So I don't know if he'll ever come back, to be honest with you. So then I was like, okay, now I got to spend more money because I'm going to get an adult here, but I need to get this done because the snow's going to be flying. And by the time this video posts, the snow's already flew. And so I'm going to have to get somebody out here to help me because physically I can't do it right now. I can do some more later. That is very possible. I can do some more later, but it will probably be too much snow for me to do anything right now. I will be hiring this guy. He's also going to help me with shoveling my driveway. Now I'm currently right now, my status right now is we're getting the well in, and we have the electric to hook up. And then after that, we're pretty much waiting for the wood. And I've mentioned before, the cost of lumber right now is just crazy expensive. So I am literally on the fence whether to start my project now or wait until the spring. And that is another reason why I am pushing out these videos. So that way you guys aren't just sitting around for 4 or 5 months wondering what's going on with the cabin. Because this baby might just sit here for 4 or 5 months and just let it snow on it. Very possible. So I am going to have a guy come out here, and he is going to remove the snow. He also does, he's going to help me with my wood on my property. He's going to see if he can get a chipper, and I will have to pay him for it, you know, and it's somebody local, so I feel, you know, I'm doing my part to help out the locals too, but that's extra money that I wasn't planning on spending, and because of my condition right now, I am not able to do it, so but it has to be done. So it's an extra expense I didn't want. I didn't want it. The good part is though, is since he will be shoveling my driveway, even if we're not building the cabin in the wintertime, he will still be shoveling the driveway. So that way when it comes to spring, I don't have to do a dig out. Now to give you kind of a ballpark, now he charges by hour, but and it depends on how much it snows or if there's snow drifts and all that kind of stuff. It's about $100 every time he comes to shovel all the way from the street to my house. It's about $100. So you're asking me, well, why you're going to have it shoveled if your house isn't going to be worked on till spring, is because a dig out to your house can be $500 to $1,000. I've actually seen some people have to pay $1,200 to dig out their house in the springtime, because you're looking at snow that's you know, it's up this deep, you know, and they can be working on it all day and possibly all week, depending on what some people's driveways look like. So I will pay for him to do that. The good part is, if I feel like winter camping, I should have a driveway to drive on. I should have a driveway to drive on. Better. And so that way I can camp out here in the wintertime. Yes, so there's my like kind of an update of today. Again, it's the very end of October right now. And this might be sitting. Again, I have not made my decision yet, and I will post a video once I make my decision. I think currently right now my lumber pack is about $12,000. It was $18,000 more. I think it's about $12,000 more to buy my lumber right now. I would like it to be down to like, well, I'd like it to be down to what I got it quoted at, but you know, I probably would pull the trigger if it was like $5,000 more. And the reason for that is because of my construction loan. I have a year time to get things done once I got my construction loan, so I have to get the cabin done, and if it doesn't get done, I have to pay extra. So that's the reason why. So anyways, just all honest stuff, just telling you kind of what's going on. I'll keep you guys in touch, let you know what I decided on. I know this video is probably going to be posted in January or February, so that means you only have a couple months to wait. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna let you go. Thanks for watching. I want to thank my Patreons too for all of your support. Truly appreciate it. If you want to support this whole build process, feel free to become a Patreon. All the information is going to be shown here shortly, and we'll see you on the next video. Be sure to check out that playlist too. Bye bye.